Have you ever looked back on your younger years and thought, if only I knew then what I know now? It's funny, isn't it? How life has a way of teaching us lessons, not all at once, but slowly, through experiences, mistakes, joys, and heartbreaks. And sometimes, it's not until we reach our 70s that those lessons truly sink in. You see, there's something special about this stage of life. When you hit 70, you start seeing things differently. The small stuff that used to bother you doesn't matter so much anymore. You stop rushing. You start appreciating quiet mornings, warm coffee, and simple moments that once slipped by unnoticed. And most of all, you begin to understand what truly matters and what never did. Today, I want to share with you 5 life lessons that most people only really understand after turning 70. These aren't things you can learn from a book or from someone else's advice. They're lessons written in time, shaped by laughter, loss, and the beauty of simply living. Let's start with the first one, the realization that time is the most valuable thing you'll ever own. When we're young, we think time is endless. We put things off, we chase after things that don't truly matter, we assume there will always be another day, another chance. But as the years pass, you start to see time for what it really is, a gift. Every sunrise, every phone call with someone you love, every walk around the block, it all becomes precious. I remember talking to a man named George at a local park one morning. He was 82, sitting on a bench, feeding the birds. He told me, when I was 40, I used to say I didn't have time. Now I realize, time was the only thing I ever had. That hit me hard. Because he was right. We spend so many years trading our time for money, approval, or busyness, but once you reach a certain age, you see that time is the true currency of life. If there's something you've been putting off, a visit, a letter, a simple I love you, don't wait. The older we get, the more we understand that every moment counts. Not because we're afraid of running out of time, but because we finally understand how meaningful it is. The second lesson is something that often surprises people. You stop caring so much about what others think. When you're younger, your life can feel like it's on display. You worry about how you look, how people see you, whether you're successful enough, thin enough, social enough. But by 70, you've lived enough life to realize none of that really matters. What matters is how you feel about your life, your choices, your peace of mind. There's incredible freedom in that. Imagine waking up and not feeling the need to impress anyone. You wear what's comfortable. You say what you mean. You do what makes you happy, not what makes sense to everyone else. It's not about rebellion, it's about peace. A woman named Helen once told me, at 75, I finally started living my way. I stopped apologizing for liking solitude, for saying no to family gatherings when I'm tired, or for dancing in the kitchen when no one's watching. It's my life, and it feels good to live it for me. That's the gift of getting older. You stop performing and start being. You've earned that peace. And it's not arrogance, it's self-respect. When you've spent decades putting others first, raising children, caring for loved ones, working hard, you come to realize that your own joy matters too. You start choosing peace over perfection, authenticity over approval. The third lesson comes quietly, but it's one of the most powerful. People, not possessions, are what make life full. When we're younger, it's easy to get caught up in chasing things, a bigger house, a better car, new clothes, the next gadget. But after 70, you realize that all those things fade. They wear out, they get replaced, or they stop matching altogether. What stays with you are the people, the laughter of a grandchild, the comfort of an old friend, the memory of holding someone's hand during hard times. If you've ever lost someone you love, you know that no amount of money can fill that space. Because connection, real human connection, is what gives life meaning. It's the conversations, the shared meals, the quiet understanding between people who truly care about each other. A man once said, when you reach your 70s, you realize you can't take anything with you, not your money, not your trophies, not your titles. The only thing that remains is the love you gave and the love you received. And he was absolutely right. So if you have people in your life that you love, tell them. Call them. Spend time with them. The moments you share now will become the memories that warm your heart later. You see, reaching 70 isn't about slowing down, it's about waking up. It's about seeing clearly what was blurry before. Now that we've talked about the importance of time, self-acceptance, and connection, there are still a few more lessons that only life can teach, lessons about letting go, about forgiveness, and about finding peace with yourself. Watching and feel that these insights are meaningful. Please type number 2 in the comments to let me know you're still with me. And if you haven't subscribed yet, I warmly invite you to do so, and don't forget to turn on the bell, so you won't miss any of our upcoming videos designed to uplift, inform, and inspire. Your support truly means a lot. It's what keeps us going and allows us to continue sharing thoughtful, helpful content just for you. Now, let's continue this journey together. By the time you turn 70, you've learned that life isn't about collecting more things, it's about learning to let go. And that brings us to the 4th lesson, learning to let go of what no longer serves you. When you're younger, you hold on to so much, grudges, regrets, old arguments, things you wish had gone differently. You replay moments in your mind, wondering what you could have said or done better. But with age comes a kind of gentle wisdom, the realization that holding on doesn't change the past, it only weighs down your present. One woman I met in a senior center told me she hadn't spoken to her sister in nearly 30 years. She couldn't even remember exactly what caused the argument, only that they had both been stubborn. But recently, her sister became ill, and that distance suddenly didn't feel important anymore. She decided to call, just to say hello. When she told me about it, tears filled her eyes. It felt like I'd been holding my breath for decades, she said. And when we finally talked, I could breathe again. That's the power of letting go. It's not about forgetting what happened or pretending it didn't hurt. It's about releasing yourself from the weight of it. Because every grudge you hold is like carrying a heavy stone, and when you finally set it down, you feel lighter, freer, more at peace. At 70 and beyond, you start realizing that peace is more valuable than being right. The truth is, people make mistakes. We all do. And forgiveness, both for others and for yourself, is one of the greatest gifts you can give your own heart. If there's something from your past that still lingers, a guilt, a regret, or even anger, maybe it's time to let it go. You don't have to fix everything. You just have to decide it's no longer going to control your peace. And once you do, you make space for love, for laughter, for the simple joy of being alive. The next lesson is one that can take a lifetime to fully appreciate. Your health is your greatest wealth. When you're young, you often take your body for granted. You push it, ignore it, and assume it'll always bounce back. But after 70, you realize how incredible and fragile your body really is. Suddenly, the little things matter: a good night's sleep, a peaceful walk, a meal that nourishes instead of harms. You begin to understand that caring for your health isn't about vanity, it's about freedom. The ability to get up, move, enjoy your day, laugh with friends, travel if you wish, or simply sit comfortably in your garden, that's true wealth. A man once told me, at 40, I wanted a bigger house. At 60, I wanted more money. But at 75, I just want to walk without pain. That hit me deeply. Because it's true, health gives you the freedom to enjoy all the other blessings in life. Taking care of yourself at this age doesn't mean chasing youth. It means protecting your independence, your energy, your joy. You don't need to run marathons or follow strict diets. Sometimes, it's as simple as staying active, eating real food, drinking water, resting when you need to, and keeping a light heart. And don't forget your mental health. Stay curious. Keep learning. Laugh often. Your mind is like a garden. The more you tend to it, the more it blooms. I once met a woman who started painting at 72. She told me, I thought I was too old to start something new. But every time I pick up a brush, I feel alive again. That's the secret. Your health isn't just your body, it's your spirit. Keep it nourished. You see, the beauty of getting older is that you start to understand what truly matters. You stop chasing things that drain you, and you start nurturing the things that sustain you: peace, connection, purpose, and joy. One of the greatest lessons of life after 70 is that happiness doesn't come from the outside, it comes from within. When you were younger, maybe happiness meant achieving something, buying something, or being with someone. But at this stage, you begin to realize that real happiness is simply the ability to wake up and feel grateful for the life you've lived, for the people who love you, and for the small, beautiful things that surround you every day. A cup of tea on a quiet morning. A message from an old friend. The sound of laughter in your home. The way sunlight falls across your living room floor. These moments, the ones we used to rush past, now feel like treasures. It's amazing how your perspective changes with time. What once felt urgent no longer does. What once felt small suddenly becomes meaningful. You begin to understand that happiness isn't something to chase, it's something to notice. That's one of the most comforting lessons of getting older, realizing that you don't need much to be happy. You just need awareness, appreciation, and presence. The truth is, the best years of your life aren't always the ones when you were the youngest or the strongest, they're the ones when you were most at peace with yourself. And when you start to see that, life begins to feel lighter, calmer, more complete. Now that we've reflected on the power of letting go, forgiveness, health, and inner peace, there's one final lesson, perhaps the most beautiful one of all, about embracing the present moment and understanding that aging itself is not something to fear, but something to celebrate. You know, as you move past 70, something beautiful begins to happen. The noise starts to fade. The pressure to prove yourself, to keep up, to be what others expect, it all starts to quiet down. And in that calm, you discover something extraordinary, the joy of simply being alive, right here, right now. That's the fifth and perhaps most powerful lesson, learning to live in the present moment. When we're young, we spend so much time looking forward, planning, dreaming, worrying about what's next. Then, as we grow older, we often look back, reliving memories, sometimes with nostalgia, sometimes with regret. But at 70, you begin to realize that life doesn't exist in the past or the future, it's happening right now, in this very breath, in this very heartbeat. The present moment is where life truly unfolds. It's where you find peace, joy, and clarity. It's where gratitude lives. I remember talking to an old neighbor named Frank, who was 82. He used to sit on his porch every morning with a cup of coffee, watching the sunrise. One day, I asked him, "Don't you ever get bored doing the same thing every day?" He smiled and said, "Son, I've seen thousands of sunrises in my life, but no two have ever looked the same. If you pay attention, life always gives you something new to appreciate." That stuck with me. Because it's true, the simple act of noticing what's around you can completely change how you experience life. When you start living in the present, you stop rushing. You stop wishing you were somewhere else or someone else. You begin to appreciate your own company, your own rhythm, your own story. You find beauty in small moments, the smell of rain, the laughter of your grandchildren, the warmth of sunlight through a window. And the funny thing is, once you stop worrying so much about time running out, you start feeling like you have more of it. You become more alive in each moment, because you're actually there for it, not lost in the past, not anxious about the future, but fully present. There's something incredibly freeing about that. Because when you learn to live in the moment, you start realizing that aging isn't about losing time, it's about gaining perspective. It's not about how many years you've lived, but how deeply you've lived them. And the truth is, every wrinkle, every gray hair, every laugh line, they all tell a story. A story of courage, survival, love, and resilience. They're not signs of decline. They're signs of life. So many people fear getting older because they think it means the end of adventure, but I believe it's the beginning of a different kind of journey, one that's slower, more meaningful, and filled with wisdom. It's when you finally understand that you don't need to chase happiness, you simply need to allow it. Aging is not something to fight. It's something to honor. Because it means you've lived, you've loved, lost, laughed, cried, fallen, and gotten back up again. You've seen the world change, and you've changed with it. You've gathered memories, lessons, and strength that no young person could ever understand without walking their own long road. When you embrace this season of life with gratitude instead of fear, something inside you softens. You stop counting the years and start cherishing the moments. You start seeing yourself not as old, but as whole. And that's the secret. Life doesn't end when you grow older. It deepens. It becomes richer, softer, and more meaningful. If you've made it to 70 and beyond, you've already conquered so much. You've endured pain, celebrated love, and found your way through things you once thought you couldn't survive. You've earned the right to slow down, to rest, to smile more often, and to live on your own terms. So today, wherever you are, take a deep breath. Look around. Feel your heart beating. That's life, still flowing through you, still offering you beauty, still inviting you to enjoy it. Don't waste a single moment thinking you're too old for anything. You're not too old to laugh. You're not too old to learn. You're not too old to love. You're not too old to start something new. The calendar may say you're 70, 80, or even 90, but your spirit doesn't keep count. Every morning you wake up is another chance to live fully. Another opportunity to forgive, to smile, to create, to connect. Another sunrise waiting to be noticed. And if there's one thing these 70-plus years have taught you, it's that life moves fast, too fast to spend it wishing for what was or worrying about what will be. The only time you truly have is now. So make it count. Live gently, love deeply, and keep your heart open to the beauty that's still unfolding. Because even at 70 or 80, life isn't done teaching you, and you're not done living it. Remember, it's never too late to feel alive again. Never too late to be happy. Never too late to find peace. If this message touched you, I'd love to hear from you. Share your thoughts or your own life lessons in the comments below. Your wisdom might just inspire someone else who needs to hear it. And if you enjoyed this conversation, don't forget to like the video and subscribe for more uplifting stories and insights about living your best life at any age. Here's to you, to your strength, your spirit, and your journey. Because getting older isn't the end of the story. It's the beginning of a beautiful new chapter.